Hey guys, another beautiful day in the beautiful life. I hope you are doing well. I hope you are safeguarding your energy and I hope you're protecting yourself from net negatives. Um, oh man, I was driving today and it was very clear. I wanted to make a video on stop being nice and start being kind to yourself. What does that mean? So in another video, I said there's a difference between being nice and kind. Nice is people pleasing. You're always saying yes, you're always compromising yourself, you're always sacrificing your needs and your wants. Um, yeah, and you're going against yourself. You're abandoning yourself, you're neglecting your own wants and needs in order to be available to others. No, stop being nice and start being kind to yourself. What I mean by that is like remove yourself from places, relationships, like revoke access. You know what I mean? To anybody who is harmful, toxic, abusive, um, from anything that makes you feel confused and ramps up your nervous system. Yeah, be kind to yourself. You've been practicing niceness and kindness to everyone else, apply it to yourself. So if you're in a relationship, and I'm talking about any relationship, can be again, family, friends, acquaintances, coworkers, any kind of relationship, partners, if they're not treating you right, like why are you letting them not treat you right? Why are you letting them make you confused? Why are you letting them stress you out? Why are you letting them abuse their access to you? Why are you letting them take advantage of you? Why are you letting them take you for granted? That's not very kind. You're not being very kind to yourself, right? So stop neglecting yourself. Stop abandoning yourself. Start taking care of yourself. Start being your own best friend. Start being your your own protector, your own defender. You know what I mean? Because nobody else is going to do it for you. I feel like I don't know, the more I like look at people, there's a lot of opportunists, there's a lot of parasites, there's a lot of people who haven't tapped into their own personal power yet. They're very insecure. And so they're just trying to either make you small or they're trying to like compete with you or destroy you. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Stop letting stop putting yourself in situations that destroy you. Start being kind to yourself, you know? Like think about like somebody you really care about, somebody you really love. I'm sure you expended a lot of time trying to like guide them and help them to like get out of bad situations. Apply that to yourself. 100%. In fact, you should be um your priority, before you start trying to lead other people out of their darkness. First of all, lead yourself out of darkness, you know, become your own light, become your own protector, your own defender, your own caretaker, your own, like I said, best friend. And, for people who are like struggling with being alone, like I also struggled with being alone at one point. I went through a phase where I was very lonely and then I'd put myself in situations like that wasn't in my best interest in order to feel like accepted or validated. No, accept and validate yourself. That's all you need, honestly. And then the people who are meant for you will add to that. And the people who are taking away from that, you need to cut. You need to be very precise in your decisions of cutting. And if you think about it, like, and I'm not trying to like gas us up, like whoever's watching this, whoever's felt like overlooked and abandoned and dismissed and neglected for most of their life. I'm not trying to gas you up, but if you're alone, if you, first of all, clap for yourself. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people have a hard time being alone because they hate themselves. Let's just be honest. They don't like themselves, so they have to distract, they have to seek external validation. If you can be alone, clap for yourself. You're a strong person, mentally, emotionally, spiritually strong. You can stand by yourself, you trust yourself, yourself, clap for yourself. And if you think about it, like The rarest things in the world are alone. Like they're not easily accessible, you know? I feel like things that are easily accessed depreciate in value. So, I mean, if you're a loner, that means you're valuable, you're precious. Not everybody has access to you. Not everybody has access to the insights, the knowledge, the wisdom that you have. And that's why you feel misunderstood. And accept that. Accept that, embrace that, love it. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's kind of lonely, but shit. Like I said, like if you're not easily accessible, and what I mean by that is like I know, like I've noted that a lot of people don't think as deeply as I do. They don't they're not comfortable with themselves. They can't sit in silence for prolonged periods of time. And so that's why they don't have access to the insights that we have, right? So yeah, I mean, I feel like when you accept that you're sad, accept that, like you feel alone or lonely sometimes, accept that, accept all the emotions and feelings that come up with that. But then, yeah, like you have to accept it. If not, you're gonna victimize yourself. You're gonna be like, oh, look at me, I'm so sad. Nobody can relate to me. Nobody can understand. Yeah, they won't, because you're rare. I mean, what do you expect? That's why we don't follow like groupthink or herd mentality, or we don't follow trends. It's like that's what, like, oh man. Which reminds me, yesterday I had a lot of free time and I wrote down some quotes that I thought were worth sharing. There's this one that came to mind. Where is it? So sorry. Something about settling. Everything that settles is at the bottom. Things that settle like fall to the bottom. Something like that. Probably slaughtered that. Anyways, here, I'm going to share these really quick because I do have to go. And maybe it will activate something in you. Maybe it will be a friendly reminder for you moving forward in this day, in this moment, in this life. Here, remove everyone that's not reciprocating. That's how you be kind to yourself. You're not being nice, you're being kind to yourself. Validation is for parking. If you want a different life, stop repeating the same day. If you want a different life, stop repeating the same day. Thou shalt not let sketchy, low vibing energies penetrate thy aura. Remember, everyone. Yeah, here's that quote I was thinking about. Remember, everything that settles is at the bottom. So we're not settling. We're not settling for like shallow relationships, shallow connections where people feel like, oh, I have access to this like precious commodity. Let me just take whatever I can from them without giving anything back. No, we're not doing that. We are all winging it. That's what angels do. I don't owe ease to anyone who has brought me chaos. I don't owe ease to anyone who has brought me chaos and who can't regulate their nervous system and blame shifts and projects. I don't match energy. I shut the power off. I don't match energy. I shut the power off. Only put energy into things you have a future with. Only put energy into things you have a future with. Let's see. Forgive yourself for not knowing earlier what only time could teach. Forgive yourself for not knowing earlier what only time could teach. You bring too much to the table to be treated like a napkin. You bring too much to the table to be treated like a napkin. Solve the problem or leave the problem. Do not live with the problem. I just have a few more. No longer watering people who don't want to grow. No longer watering people who do not want to grow. You know it's the right decision if it gives you energy. You know it's the right decision if it gives you energy. Saying how you feel will never ruin a real connection. Let's see. People can tell you anything, but a vibe tells you everything. I just have a few more, honestly. Let's see. Okay, I guess that's it. I completed the list of quotes that I wrote down. I thought they were pretty fun. Anyways, I'm gonna go. If you learned something from this video, cool. If you didn't, that's cool too. Yeah, stop being nice and start being kind to yourself because you're the most precious person walking on the earth. And I'm not saying this from a narcissistic, egoistic standpoint. I'm saying this so heart-centered people can protect themselves and know their worth, know their value, and call back their power and deny access to anyone who just doesn't care about you. Yeah. And you can tell by their actions, the way they make you feel, their total disregard for your well being. You can tell straight away. Stop doubting yourself. Start trusting yourself, you know? Anyways, blessings to one and all. Amen.